There have been 3 legendary QBs in college football who had offenses completely built around their skill set, and they brought size, athletic ability, and a magnetic quality that drove their teams to national championships, and they are on the pantheon of the great college QBs of all time. The 3 we're going to look at are Vince Young at Texas, Tim Tebow with the Florida Gators, and Cam Newton with the Auburn Tigers. So I created an offense built around these players' skill sets. You can play like these legends in Madden 24, and it is going to be my QB power offense. Then this is actually all part of a bigger scheme I'm creating where I break down 4 schemes that are all different variations of the college football spread offense that have taken over the sport, and I'm calling it the ultimate NCAA spread offense. Then each of these 4 schemes will be run out of the Spread Playbook, so they can all be combined and used together into one giant scheme, and the playlist for the whole offense will be down in the description below. Now we're going to break down the formations and run game for this QB power offense that we are going to be running. Now the first formation we're going to be breaking down in this scheme is going to be stack Y off. This is a super unique formation with a stack look on one side of the ball, then a tight end and a wide out to the other. The best part of this formation is really the dynamic run game it can bring to the table, and it is all built around this jet motion with our receiver shooting across the formation, and we are going to break down 3 plays off this motion with a nasty QB power to get downhill on the defense, a play where we flip it to the motion player where he can hit the edge of the defense, then lastly a play action play off the jet motion that we will break down later. Now the first run is going to be this jet touch pass, and this is what sets up this sequence of plays, and once you snap the ball you will flip the ball to your wideout, and this is a great way to get the ball on the edge of the defense with one of your best playmakers. These type of jet passes were super common in these QB power offenses, with players like Percy Harvin being used to attack the perimeter, and it was just a great way to bring a speed element to the table. The next run is going to be fake jet pass power, and this will have the same motion across the formation, and this will hopefully pull the linebackers and user to the outside, and then we're going to run the QB power up and behind the motion, and you just want to get downhill and you can pick up some nice yardage with this run. These QB power runs are something that these offenses would use quite often to get their big powerful QBs running up the middle where they could use their size and elite athleticism to punish defenses. Now with this run we're going to have the running back and a pulling guard as lead blockers, and you really want to let them set up their blocks, and then when they engage you can cut off of them and get into the open field and start making plays. Now another formation type these offenses love to bring to the table was pistol sets, and the one we are going to be using is pistol U off. Now a pistol formation is where the QB lines up 3 yards behind the center, then the running back lines up directly behind the QB. This gives the offense access to all of the under center runs like stretches and outside zone runs or powers, and these type of runs just can't be run the same out of shotgun looks. Then these pistol formation also unlock a ton of deep play action shots for the offense as well, making pistol formations a great way to add variation to this offensive scheme. Now the run play we're going to be using for this formation is the read option run. You can run this to either side of the field, and it can seem really simple. Just read our defender, and if the defense bites down then we can just keep the ball and hit the edge and become a playmaker in the open field with our QB. But we have a trick to make this run even better. You want to run it to the wide side, and you want to take your slot and motion him across the field, and this can give us an extra blocker on this side of the field, and I've found this motion can cause a lot of confusion with the edge defenders and open up even more running lanes to get to the outside and make plays with our quarterback on the edge. Then the last part of this play is you want to motion your player across the field, and if the read icon player doesn't get blocked or you just don't like the look of the outside run, then you can just hand this ball off and get downhill with your running backs, and you should be able to get some nice yardage up the middle. Then another aspect of these power QB offenses that made them a bit different than a lot of the normal spread offenses was the utilization of multiple tight ends out on the field. This gave these schemes more size and flexibility to have a really strong run game. Then off of it, the tight ends are incredible weapons in the play action pass game that can sneak out of these play action looks for explosives down the field. And the 2 tight end heavy formations we are going to be using are a slot offset and wing tight. Now the run we're breaking down here is the RPO slot bubble. Here, come out with your bubble to the wide side of the field, and before the snap check the bubble side, and if you have the numbers advantage then flip it out to your receiver, and you can get in behind your blockers and you should get some really easy yards on the outside. These bubbles are a huge part of these offenses, and they are a great way to get the ball out on the edge if the defense is loading up the box to try to stop that star QB, and these are just a great safety valve for this offense. Then if you look at the bubble and it is taken away, then you can just hand this ball off, and this is like like a normal inside zone run. So you just want to find the hole, hit it fast, and with them keeping players out to stop the bubble, this should allow you to pick up a good amount of yardage with these runs. Now, a huge component of these offensive schemes was the utilization of the play action pass game off of the dynamic runs. The run game is going to be a huge part of this offense, so having some deadly play action passes that can get linebackers and safeties pulled down, allowing us to get our weapons in behind them for big gains, is going to be a huge part of this scheme. The play action pass game was a really massive thing that made these power QB offenses work, and it is what helped tie the whole scheme together, whether it was Vince Young at Texas, Tebow at Florida, or Cam at Auburn. All these guys dominated throwing the ball out of these looks. So the first play action concept we are looking at is PA boot wide drag, and this is one of the best deep passing concepts in Madden to get multiple players open down the field for huge pickups. To set this up, come out with your wide out on the deep cross to the short side of the field, then take your tight end on that side and put him on a streak, then take the wide receiver on the wide side and put him on a streak as well. Now, first, this is going to start with a hard play action fake. Then we have our tight end, and he's going to be dragging across the field. Then he's going to wheel up the field. As he does this, the deep blue defender should get run off, and once this wheel passes in behind the flat defender, you can drop this in along the sideline for a huge pickup. These type of deep drop play action shots are something that was super common in these offenses, where the deep setup could really let the receivers get open down the field, and then these QBs could drop it down into them for huge pickups. Then next off the play action, if you see the user run with the drag wheel, or if the flat is getting deep under it and it isn't open, then our second read is going to be the deep cross coming the opposite way, and this is great if the user leaves the middle of the field. Now the cross should be open over the middle for a great second option. The next play action play we are looking at is fake jet HB seam, and this is going to have that same slot jet motion across the formation, but now we'll fake it to him, and then we're going to have two main routes on this play attacking the middle of the field that are a great counter off the run game out of this motion. Now there is no adjustments on this play, just come out with your motion going to the wide side of the field, and now our goal on this play is off the motion, we want to get the user out of the middle of the field. Then we're going to have this running back shooting up this shallow seam, and you can fire it in for a big pickup. This route is incredible, and if that seam is open, this is just going to be a great option to attack zone coverage for really consistent yards. Then if you snap the ball and you look to the running back and he is covered, then you want to look inside to the tight end on the crosser, and if the linebackers get pulled out of the middle, then this is going to be a great second option on this play. Then lastly on this play, if you run your fake and the running back is covered up the seam, and then you look to the tight end, he's covered over the middle, then we're going to have this slot in the flat, and you can just check it down to him and just let him get into the open field and try to make people miss, and you can pick up whatever yards are there. Then if you want to take this offense to the next level, you need to check out my website, Scheme Kings. Up right now is part 2 of this video, where I'll give you 7 more plays for this QB power offense that will give you a ton more options to attack both man and zone coverage for some big plays, and it is just going to give you so many more options that you can add with everything you learned in this video. Then there's also a bunch of other videos on the site for this whole spread offense that you can add in with this QB power that is going to make it even that much better. Then also on the site, you can find my 5 other full schemes that are out so far for Madden 24, with my Ravens attacking defense, my NFL spread offensive scheme, my Georgia Bulldogs match-based D, plus my wide zone offense and my NFL Mount Rushmore scheme. Then you can also get access to my playbooks on Scheme Kings, which are full written breakdowns for my schemes. I believe between Madden 23 and Madden 24, I have about 11 out so far, with my newest being my Ravens attacking defense that is 44 pages long, and it is going to make it so much easier to run each one of my schemes and make them that much more effective. Then starting today, we have a sale on the site. Use code SPREAD at checkout for 50% off your first month. This sale is going to run till May 12th, so if you want to check out Scheme Kings, I will leave a link for it down in the description below. Now, the other part of this scheme we are going to need is the drop back pass game that can attack the middle of the field. This was the main area of the field these QBs would look to go to, because so much of their offense was built on motion and the run game, and this would put a ton of pressure on linebackers and safeties in the middle of the field, and then this could open up a bunch of big time options for these offenses. So the first play we are breaking down here is post, and this is our main man beating play, and this gives us 4 options that all attack different areas of the field, and this is an incredibly tough play to stop. To set this up, come out with with your 2 receivers to the wide side of the field, then take your tight end on the wide side and block him, and that is the only adjustment. Now first I have the corner route on the wide side of the field, and this is the first place I like to look, and I do like to have route tech or short and elite on this player, so when he breaks to the outside he should get more separation. You can fire this in for a big gain. Then we also have a corner route on the other side of the field with our tight end, and we can really work either side of the field with these corner routes, and this tight end can be a great option as he breaks once again, and you can even break a tackle here and take it for a big play. Then if those are taken away, I like to look to the middle of the field, and we have this Texas route over the middle, and these routes do a great job, especially if the user leaves the middle. This player should get a ton of big yards. Now pre-snap, if you notice there are no deep safeties, that's when we actually want to look to the post on the wide side, and as he breaks over the middle, if they have no safety help, then you can just bomb them over the top for a deep one-play bomb. The next play we are breaking down is levels, and this is an excellent play that attacks the middle of the field and puts a ton of pressure on the linebackers, allowing us to pick up a ton of big plays. To set this play up, come out with your stack to the wide side of the field, then take the back of stack player, and I like to put him on a post, but if you don't have Hot Route Master, you can leave him on his dig. Then take the receiver on the short side of the field and put him on a comeback, and that is the setup. Now pre-snap, we want to look at the safeties, and versus single high, check this seam, and as long as the user doesn't run with this route, you should be able to pass lead this open for a big play versus cover 3. Then versus cover 2, I actually still like to look to this player, and he's going to stay vertical up the seam, but if we pass lead this ball all the way over into the middle of the field, you should be able to split these safeties for a big play. Then if after the snap the user starts to run with that seam, then we want to look inside to the post over the middle, and he should replace the user, and you can fire this in for a nice pickup in the middle of the field. Then if the seam is taken away and the linebackers are sitting on that post, then we have the shallow cross over the middle, and this can be a really nice option underneath. Then lastly, if at the snap you see the whole D is getting way back under all your deeper options, then we have a running back on the swing, and this is our check down option for this play. Then the last aspect these offenses brought to the table was their ability to take shots down the field. This was the final piece of the puzzle that made these schemes as explosive as possible. When defenses get used to coming downhill to stop the run, or they try to take away the middle of the field, then this is when being able to dial up deep shots will put this scheme over the top and make it unstoppable. The first deep bomb we are looking at is PA deep cross, and this is a great cover 3 one-play touchdown that we can use to get our deep post wide open down the field for huge gains. To set this play up, come out with your deep post to the wide side of the field, then take the tight end on that side and put him on a streak, then take the receiver on the short side and put him on a comeback, and then lastly you want to take the wide out who's running the post and motion him down, and then just keep tapping the snap button, and when you do this the ball will be snapped once he's in by the tight end. Now versus cover 3, this deep middle safety will get held inside by the tight end on the streak, then the backside deep third will get held down by the comeback route, and once the post you motioned down clears that middle safety, you can bomb them deep over the top for a really big pickup versus cover 3 defenses. These are the exact type of deep shots off play action that these QBs would use when defenses would try to come down hard to stop the run. Then they could use their big arms to push the ball down the field and hit explosive plays. The next deep shot we're looking at is PA double post, and this is an excellent deep passing concept that will get both a deep post and a corner route in behind zone defenses for big plays. To set this up, come out with your solo wide receiver to the wide side of the field, then put this player on a drag. Then take the tight end on that side and motion him out. Then take the inside tight end on the short side of the field and put him on a streak, and that is the whole setup. Now this corner route on the short side of the field is our go-to route on this play, and versus cover 3 you're going to see the deep third is going to get pulled back by the tight end, and this corner route is going to get in behind the flat defender deep down the field, and you can drop this in along the sideline for a huge gain. Then versus cover 2, this play is going to work even better with the deep half getting held in the middle of the field, and then as soon as this corner route gets in behind the cornerback in the flat, you can drop it in over his head for a really big pickup. Then if the corner route is taken away and the user isn't staying deep over the middle on our deep post route, then as this player breaks over the middle, you can fire this in for another really big option down the field. Then lastly on this play, if the deep post is covered over the middle and the corner route is taken away along the sideline, then the check down here is the drag over the middle, and you can just drop it down to him and let him get some yards after the catch. Now with just what you have here with this QB power offense, you will be in a great spot. But remember, there is part 2 of this scheme up right now on Scheme Kings that can help make this offense way more difficult to stop. But then if you want a full breakdown on the idea behind this ultimate NCAA spread offense and a deep dive into the personnel we'll be using for this scheme, then you need to check out the intro video for this whole offense right here.